All right, guys, so this is my 2019 BMW G20 330i. I've officially owned it for 6 months, and I'm gonna give you a full review of what I think about it, the problems I've had, and basically everything in the 6-month review. There are a few things that have happened over the last 6 months, so we'll go over that. Since we started this with the inside of the vehicle and it's like 100 degrees outside, we'll start with the stuff on the interior. All right, so when I bought this car, I think I bought it with about 21,000 miles. Let me see here. Right now we are at 26,585 miles, so I've driven 5,000 miles since I've owned it. So I basically bought it 5 years old. It had one previous owner. It was well taken care of, except there was some scratches on the front bumper, which was a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. But this one does come equipped with the M Sport package, so you get the M Sport steering wheel. So this is completely different. This leather wrap thing here, you get a heated steering wheel and the M Sport steering wheel as well. So the other one has a dual spoke right here, the regular one, but this one has a single spoke, and it's a lot more thick, so it's better driving experience just from the steering wheel alone. Some of them do come with a regular gauge cluster. This one comes with a digital one. Let's see if we can get a good view of it. With this package as well, though, you get a larger infotainment system that I actually enjoy because I love the infotainment system. I actually considered buying a older one, like an older 440i, because it's a little bit faster, but I really cared about the tech. And the G chassis, so the G series vehicles came out for the 4 series in 2021, but they came out in 2019 for the 3 series. So that's why I bought this one. Makes more sense. So when I first bought this in January, I mean, it has a super clean interior. Everything is still like new, which is crazy. There's really no nicks or really anything. I mean, all this looks brand new still, which is just crazy. It does have ambient lighting too. You can't really see it, but there's purple strips here. You could change it to like 8 different colors. But one of the things I did have issues with was these right here, this one, and kind of see it right here, the strip right here. They were not working. So actually, when I got into it, I didn't really realize, because I'd always see the ones over here. But then I noticed, like, one night, I was like, wait a minute, these ones are supposed to be on too, because it lights up from here. It lights up, you can kind of see the purple there. It lights up at your feet, all through here and the sides. So anyways, I noticed it over here, and I was like, wait, all the lighting's all showing right here, but it's not over here. So anyways, I went back and forth. It was still under like a warranty. I think I had like a 60-day little like limited warranty where they'd fix any kind of main issues that I had. It looks like there was an electrical problem where these electrical things were not wired up properly. So I did take it to BMW here in Albuquerque, and they were able to fix it right away. So it took, I don't know, 2 hours or so. So it's pretty easy. Outside of that, I actually had some missing, they call them quality walls. They were actually supposed to be in the trunk, but they weren't there. They were just missing. They're like little side pieces. I'll show you guys in a minute, but it wasn't there. So I lost those pieces. I still haven't replaced them, so it is what it is. You put like the tools in there and stuff, but oh well. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was another thing that was popping up on here when I would start the car. It said like it was like some of the collision warnings were off or something, and it kept doing that. So when I took it for the ambient lighting issue, I told them about that, and they just reset the system, and I haven't had any issues since then, so I don't know what that was. But besides that, I've had really electrical or any kind of interior kind of issues. Besides that, everything else works great. The air conditioner, everything obviously works amazing. All right, I'm gonna show you guys the outside now. All right, guys, so here's the exterior of the car. Hopefully you can hear me. The engine's on. I left it on so I can show you guys a few points. The one thing I will say is that this car is extremely reliable. I haven't had any issues with the engine components or anything like that. So the powertrain's been super solid. It does have the B48 engine, which is known to be super reliable. So I've appreciated that. So one of the other main things that was super important for me was to actually get the daytime running lights, to get the laser lights. So you can see here, I got the laser lights. They look so much better. They look more traditional to the BMW Heritage than the regular ones. The regular ones just have the bottom slats. So these ones actually wrap all the way around. Let's see if I can get a better view for you guys. Yeah, so you can kind of see it a lot better here. Don't mind the flashing, but yeah, they look a lot better, and they're thick too. I love the way this looks right here. And if you look over here, you can kind of see it. This is an active grill, so the grill actually flaps in and out when it needs to get air. The air conditioner is like on full blast right now, so of course the air is going to be on there. One thing I did have an issue with on the exterior is those little flaps. The active grill was not working at all. So when I took it in, I found out all this stuff like all in the beginning. So when I took it in, they went to check on it. I think it was something with the plug that was disconnected, so it just wasn't opening and closing. So that was one of the things I dealt with as well. So in the first month of ownership, I had to deal with the active grill's not working, the ambient lighting being out, and the quality walls in the truck missing, but that wasn't a big deal. So I've done some cosmetic things to this, so it looks a lot different. I'll actually show you a picture right now of what it looked like before. And this is it now. I actually added like the M340i grill in the front, so it's a diamond grill. I think it just looks better, and I wanted a blacked out grill. I also added these carbon front lip. You can see it here. I don't want anything too aggressive. I just wanted something kind of small, so this one works for what it is. This one also came with the M Sport wheels. They look a little bit more aggressive. I think they look good, but I'll probably eventually just get my own wheels for it. I did also tint the entire car. So the front is actually 60%, the sides are all 15%, and the back is 5%. In the back, there hasn't been too much that changed, but I did add a carbon spoiler here. Sorry for the wind. Added the spoiler, obviously got the custom plate here. Ravana is my clothing company, so you guys check that out. I'll put a link on the description over here. And then I just blacked out the 330i. So pretty straightforward. I think it looks pretty good though. I don't like anything that looks too aggressive, especially on a 330, so I think this looks pretty good. So I previously owned Honda and Lexus cars. Obviously they're super reliable. I preach on my TikTok every day that I care about reliability more than anything. I also love tech, so that's another reason why I got this car. But I will say this car has been absolutely bulletproof over the last 6 months. It's a 5-year-old vehicle, and it's already at 26,000 miles. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about BMW, but I feel like this one's honestly been pretty solid for me. So I've enjoyed it. Outside of the reliability, I will say that the premium gas is expensive, and obviously the regular maintenance is going to be expensive. I do need to get the rear brakes done at some point, and the rear brakes I think are around $400 or so for both of them, but I still have to do the fronts as well at some point. But the rear ones are pretty bad, so I need to get those done. The oil change is due in December-ish. It actually tells you like when you recommended services. So in December I'll have to do that, but that's going to be like $250. So right there, that's already what, $650, $700 out the door. So those are things that you have to kind of prepare for. But the good thing is BMW really keeps you on track with your maintenance schedule, so you're prepared for that. I don't have any other services coming up besides really those. Some of the performance things I do plan on doing is I'm going to swap out the standard intake. I'm actually going to put a cold air intake in here, put a new turbo inlet and everything on here. I think I'm gonna get the one by MST or Dynan. I think I'm saying the name right. Dynan, yeah, something like that. I also will be probably getting an exhaust system, do the wheels. I want to put yellow DRLs on here and put the black M side mirrors. These ones look nice, but I just want to replace those. I did wish I actually got the darker windshields. I got 60%, which on I think the video is actually doing a better justice than in person. I wish it was a little bit darker, but it is what it is. Let me show you guys real quick the trunk space that I was talking about. Well, not the trunk space, but the things that were missing. But talking about trunk space, this one is actually pretty solid. I just put these in here just for reference so you guys can kind of see. But the sides here, they have the little quality walls I was talking about. As you can see in this one, it's missing. So it's just like a little cover that goes right there. But this thing can hold a lot of stuff. I don't know if it really does justice showing you. This thing is really deep though, and the seats go down and everything, so it's pretty practical. It's good for a family at least. It is super hot, so we're going back inside. All right, I should do some takeaways real quick just to keep in mind of the things that I dealt with in the first 6 months. Like I said, 21,000 miles when I bought this. It's at around 26,000 miles roughly right now. When I first bought it, had an issue with ambient lighting, quality wall, and the active grille. It was basically just plug issues, so they were able to look at it and plug it in right away and fix everything. Outside of that, I haven't had any issues. Another thing to consider I didn't really talk about is the insurance could be a little bit high. I'm over 25. I haven't had any issues with insurance before, and this is the most I've paid for insurance. Right now I'm paying about $202, which is a lot more than my Lexus that I previously had. The second thing to consider is maintenance. Like I said, the maintenance is going to be expensive. I mean, for oil changes, tire changes, and brakes, pretty much, like the basic stuff. But I will say this car is going to run easily into the 100,000 mile range. So if you're looking at one that's a little bit higher mileage, I wouldn't stress about it. Just consider how much driving you're doing every year and how long you're going to keep the car. So I'd really just consider those. But I would recommend getting it optioned, especially if you're going to buy a couple-year-old one, because there's a lot of good options on this, like the Shadowline package. You can get the M Sport package, which is the biggest one. You get a lot of upgrades. Besides that, there's like a premium package, like things. Oh, and also I have the Harman Kardon system here. That sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds 1,000% better than the regular BMW system. I love music, so I had to have that. So overall, I would put this. Overall, I would say this car is a 9.5 out of 10. I do not say that rating lightly. I love everything about this vehicle, everything that it has. I think it's practical, obviously reliable. The tech is very advanced. I mean, the backup cameras and everything are absolutely amazing. I want you guys to see this real quick. Watch. So when you go into reverse, you obviously have all those. So you have an overhead display that's absolutely amazing. Ignore the camera, it's just getting a flashing, but it looks super crisp. It shows you everywhere you want to be. And also you can do this. You can get a side view of where you're at on both sides. So you can see exactly where you're parked at and everything. But one of the other things I love, so let's say you go into drive, and let's say there's a curb really close to you. This is what you can do here. Wait, what am I doing? So you can click the parking assist right here. You click it twice. What is going on? You click it twice here and you can see exactly where you're at. So when you're driving up towards it, you can actually see with the front camera here. There's sensors all around the cars, so it's super helpful. I love it. It also has automatic parking, backup assist, and different camera images and everything, so you can adjust all those things. So those are some of my favorite things that I love about it. It also has an auto hold feature, so if you're like in traffic, whatever, you need to stop, you can just put the auto hold and it'll just hold like into a park position. And the thing I love too is that there's buttons here, like for example for music, you can adjust the music here. You go to these physical buttons over here, and you could also adjust it here. And you also have hand gestures, so you can move the music like this, as it's doing right there. And you could go back on the music there, and then you could pause it. And there's different hand gestures you can do. So if I want to like change it, I could do that. See how it changed? You could do the hand gestures and it changes the music for you, so it's pretty nice. Obviously it's integrated with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and everything's pretty intuitive here. I will say one of the things I love is that the comfort and sport mode are completely different experiences when you're driving. The valves open up when you go into sport mode, and it's a lot more aggressive and sensitive, the throttle, so it moves a lot more. And when you're in comfort and you don't want to drive crazy, you can easily just go into comfort. The engine's quieter, it's a lot smoother ride, so it's pretty straightforward. I don't ever use the Eco Pro because it turns off, or this parking or auto off always goes on, and it's the most annoying thing. So basically what happens is when you're driving up to a thing and you go to a stop, like at a red light, it turns off your car and it has to restart, kind of like a hybrid, and it's the most annoying thing, and it's rough on your engine, so I highly do not recommend that. So I turn mine off. If I'm in comfort mode, you just click it off, but if I'm in sport mode, it automatically turns it off, so that makes it easy. But yeah, that's my review, my 6-month review. I guess we'll come back at month 12, the 1-year review, and we'll see where we're at. But what do you guys want to hear? But what content do you guys want to see from me here on YouTube? Do you guys want to see more car content? You guys want to see me doing like a before and after? Do you guys want to see the process of me doing things? Some meet and greet type stuff? Or what do you want to see? Let me know.